Hey everybody out there, it's Alabama Deep and coming back at you. All right, so we remember when I did the Panerai build. I put it together, and that was for the Naked watchmaker, and that was my response video, me creating this watch here, basically going through the same steps he did to build a homage of the Panerai. So I did, and this is what I came up with. And I know at the time, I think he was still working on how to keep his dial, and I'm sorry, not the dial itself, but the movement attached to the stainless steel case. And I had figured out a way to do that. And I was going to do a response video on that. I can't remember if I ever really did or not. But yes, this movement is fully attached to this case. I think Naked was going to play with using a plastic movement spacer for his, but I figured out if you press down hard enough, you can get the clamps to go right inside of this case, and you can screw them down that way. And I don't know if I ever did that video. If I need to, let me know. Anyway, so this was my build in response to him. And I see one thing now I probably need to correct, and that is I have the clasp upside down here that locks it in place. I need to reverse that and have it on top apparently. Then again, I may leave it just like it is because I've become so used to it. I never really noticed that I had it on upside down because Panerai for me is not my favorite brand. Now, I'm showing you this watch because we have gotten one in the mail for repair. We're going to come on over here. This is a Panerai. I believe this is a replica, and I don't have to say I believe. I know it is a replica. I've already looked at it and had it open and compared the inside to look at the movement. And of course, it is not a real Panerai, though this is a good facsimile of it, very much so. And I do like it. This one does need a little bit of TLC. This one came in from a viewer who asked for help, said it would not run, had stopped running. But as you can see, I do have it running now. It didn't take me but maybe a couple minutes to get it going. And I know what's wrong with it, and we're going to try to do our best to fulfill what we can do for the wishes of the owner of it. And this is actually a very nice copy. I'm not sure what the payment was on one of these or not, but looking at the back, have a look at it. They did a really freaking good job on this, and I'm not a fan of Panerai, and I can tell you why here in just a minute. I will show you that I am very familiar with this watch, very familiar. And that always helps when you're working on a watch, being familiar with them. I'm familiar with it because not only did I build one, but I was working on a second one. Here's the movement for that. This is the exact same movement in this one here. This is what's inside of it, exactly 110%. This movement is very nice looking, actually. I got it off Alibaba. I think I paid like maybe $10 for it, $8 for it, something like that. It's a very nice movement for $8, $9. Absolutely. So that's pretty cool. Uh, this right here needs a little bit of work. I noticed when I first opened it up, very dirty on the inside. Needs a lot of cleaning. I'm probably going to service this watch in full and then put it back together. It may need a new crown. I noticed that crown is possibly stripped on the inside. So I'll find that out when I disassembly begins on this. Probably an upcoming video to come. I'm fixing to head out with Big M here in a minute, I think. And we're gonna go look at a few Rolexes and parts and stuff like that. Maybe bring some home. Just depends. I just don't know. Anyway, the Panerai. What can I say about Panerai? Well, Panerai, the actual company, I don't particularly care for. Yeah, it was established in the 1800s. Absolutely, it did more of naval equipment for diving than it did anything else, and then it got into watchmaking, and then watches for people, and it kind of went from there. They were very hot in the late 90s, early 2000s. Everyone had to have a Panerai, but Panerai, the company, has taken a turn for the worst recently. One, they're starting to be cost effective, and they're reducing cost and eliminating things from their watches on their brand. And to me, that's like the worst thing you could do if you're a luxury watch, is that you're supposed to make a watch that's more than enough, something that you perhaps don't even really need, but it has to be there. And honestly, with Panerai removing cost and cheapening their own watches, to me, that's just not even close to being acceptable for a luxury watch brand. That's an absolute no. And another thing is that a lot of these fakes like this, because this is a fake, they're actually so good that Panerai has an issue trying to determine which ones are real and which ones are not. And to me, that's also not acceptable for a luxury watch brand to not be able to distinguish their watch from one made in China. I don't think Rolex would ever have that problem. Though I know nowadays there are a lot of good replicas out there. Nonetheless, you can still tell a real from a fake Rolex, but in a lot of the cases, even Panerai can't even tell the replicas are fakes. They have a really hard time doing that. So, I mean, that and they depreciate in value. I mean, to me, Panerai is not a good brand of watch to invest in at all. I actually don't believe in investing in any watches, but I mean, if you do and you can turn a quick buck, there's no harm in that. I just wouldn't make it my day job, and I most definitely wouldn't be buying Panerai to try to flip and sell and make a profit on, because it's not going to happen. They depreciate worse than a Cadillac when you drive it off the lot. It's very nice, comfortable, nice to wear, but they just don't hold their value. They just drop. I mean, you'll take an $800, $900 hit, sometimes $1,000, $1,200, $1,013 hit. It just depends. So to me, Panerai is not a very good investment at all, and they're falling quickly from grace with a lot of people simply because of the issues that they've been having. And mainly, a lot of the issues they're having is just repetition in their models that they're producing. That, and like I said, cutting back on cost and eliminating features from the watches that should be there. I mean, that's just not something that should ever be done for a luxury watch brand. Um, you just shouldn't. That's a big no. Uh, so that's why I particularly don't care for Panerai. But in the regards of it as a watch, I think it's a pretty cool watch. It does have a lot of history. The company does with naval equipment, diving equipment. So yeah. I mean, I added one to my collection from building it myself. So yeah, I mean, if you want to buy Panerai, by all means do so. Just don't think you're going to be able to flip it and get an extra $2,000 out of it, because you're not going to be able to. They just don't hold their value. You know, if you can get one broken on the cheap, 900,000 bucks, sure, absolutely. But otherwise, I would not do that, because I don't think you're going to be able to turn a profit on any of them. It's just a pretty nice watch to have if you just want to wear it on your wrist. And maybe one day they'll become popular again, like they were in the late 90s and early 2000s, where everyone just had to have one. So maybe one day they'll come back. But until then, no. I'll just stay away. The one I made is good enough, and I don't think I'll be looking to buy a Panerai anytime soon. But yeah, we're going to be doing a little bit of work on this watch in an upcoming video. I just wanted to introduce you to Mr. Panerai. We have another one that also came in the same box, and the owner wants to add some real parts of that, so we'll be working on that too. But this is just an intro video to introduce everyone to Panerai, and we'll bring it up in a video when we start the repairs on this watch, and hopefully achieving everything that we want to achieve with it. And that includes waterproofing, which I don't know if we're going to be able to do on this one completely. It's not like it's a Rolex case, but we'll have a look-see at it. I know there are a few parts I need to order for this watch already, but simply because it's only running because of my sheer ingenuity. Other than that, this would still be sitting lifeless on the bench. But we'll get into all that in the video coming up ahead. I just thought I'd introduce y'all. Tell me what you think in comments below. Would you own a Panerai? Do you own a Panerai? What are your likes about it? What are your dislikes about it? Tell me what you think. I'll be looking forward to reading your comments. Thank you. I'll see y'all in the next video.